ever get that that feeling in your gut, like about a person? You just know something's not right.
Yeah, today we're going deep on that whole bad vibe thing, but like on a much deeper level, asking are some people, just born evil?
Oh, okay. Right off the bat, heavy stuff.
No kidding, right. But we found this article and it's taking apart this video, and they both go straight at this question. And hold on, the story they tell about this boy, what he does to birds, is going to stick with you.
See, now you've got me curious. You gotta give me a little more.
Oh, we're getting there. But the way this video starts is what got me. The guy telling it, he talks about breaking his neck, how that physical pain, the trauma, it messed him up, changed who he was. It makes you wonder, right? Could mental pain do that too? Like twist someone up so bad they become .evil. Okay, so we're already in like morally gray area here, which I love, by the way. But this is where the article goes next level because it brings in the science of trauma.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
Right, like actual brain science.
Ha.
Childhood trauma, we're talking abuse, neglect, being in constant fear as a kid. It can literally change how a kid's brain grows.
Whoa, for real.
Yeah. The hippocampus, it's the part that handles emotions, regulating all that. With severe trauma, it can actually shrink. So imagine a kid, they're living in fight or flight mode all the time. Their brain, it doesn't develop the same way. Empathy, moral reasoning, that's what gets all messed up.
So it's like their emotional growth gets stunted.
Exactly. It's heavy stuff. This isn't to say, of course, that everyone who goes through something awful becomes, evil. It's way more complex than that. But it makes you think, right, how much of who we are, good or bad, is already kind of baked in, nature versus nurture and all that.
And that leads us to the story of the boy I mentioned. This is where the article gets really intense. So this kid, very young, he's already showing seriously messed up behavior, torturing animals, but specifically, he kills baby birds. Years later, same kid, now grown, he commits a brutal rape.
Okay, yeah, that's rough.
No kidding, right. It makes you wonder, was there something, like you were saying, fundamentally wrong in his brain? Or was it something done to him? Nature, nurture, or some horrible combination?
And that is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
I mean, part of me almost doesn't want to know, right? Like, if it was something done to him, what could be so messed up that it creates a person capable of that? But if he really was just born evil, I don't know, that's almost scarier, Like some things are just set from the start.
No, I hear you. It's that classic question, right? Been messing people up for centuries. And this is where the article, it goes beyond just this one case, this kid. Starts looking at the bigger picture. Philosophy, religion, all that.
Oh, right. They brought up that whole original sin thing, yeah.
Exactly. That idea that we're born bad, flawed from day one, like baked right in. Huge implications if you think about it, especially when it comes to responsibility. If we're hardwired for evil, how can we be held accountable for what we do?
Whoa. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about it like that. Like, are we talking about destiny then? Or do we actually have a choice in who we become?
Big questions, right. And here's where the article takes this whole ancient debate, good versus evil, and it throws it right into the 21st century.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Because it's not just about our own individual morality anymore, is it? They're saying modern society, the way we live now, especially online, it might be making things worse, like actually enabling evil behavior.
You think about it, people do and say things online they'd never do in person. I mean, just look at the comments section of anything.
And that's exactly it. Cyberbullying, all the hate mobs online, spreading lies, it thrives in that digital world. Why? Anonymity. It's easy to forget there's a real person on the other side of the screen.
It's like that saying, right? Give a man a mask and he'll show you his true face. Except now, online, we've all got masks. Makes you think, are we all just one anonymous comment away from, like, becoming trolls?
Right. And it brings us to this. Does all that detachment online, does it actually bleed into the real world? Even if someone isn't born evil, could a society that just accepts that kind of behavior online, could it push someone further down a bad path?
Okay, see, that's the kind of stuff that gets to me. Before reading this, I'd never really thought about, like, internet trolls and the nature of evil in the same thought. But now, I don't know, it's making me wonder about some of my own online rants,
And that, I think, is what this article is going for. Makes you look at your own actions, right? And it takes us to a much bigger question when the article wrestles with. If this digital culture can actually erode empathy, push people towards being worse, don't we have a responsibility to create something different online? Something that encourages, I don't know, kindness instead?
Man, okay, those are some heavy questions. I was kind of hoping for some easier answers, like, here's the deal with evil, solved it.
No.
And, part of me, I kind of appreciate that they didn't have a simple answer. This whole "are people born evil" thing, it's messy, right? Complicated.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where a deep dive like this, it's so valuable. It's not about finding the right answer. It's about sitting with the unknown, all those gray areas.
So, okay, no easy answers. But now what? We've got this whole web of stuff: nature, nurture, our own choices, what society's doing. Where do we even go from there?
That's where it gets really interesting. Because now
Ah.
we have to face some pretty uncomfortable possibilities. Which one is more disturbing to think about, right? That some people are just, I don't know, hardwired for evil.
Hmm.
Like from day one, no say in the matter. Or
Mm.
that what we think of as ordinary life, a bad childhood, a world that rewards being detached, that any of that can turn someone into a monster.
Oof. See, now those are the questions that'll keep you up at night. Like, what are we each responsible for, right? In terms of creating a world where that ordinary stuff, the bad stuff, exists in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It forces us to really look at our own assumptions.
Mm.
Like that boy who hurt animals. Do we write him off, say he was always going to be cruel?
Mm.
Or do we look at what he might have gone through, abuse, neglect, violence, and think, maybe things could have been different?
For as much dark stuff as we've gone through today, I'm caught on something the article said at the end. They were talking about values, like real strong ones: kindness, empathy, compassion, almost like, I don't know, an antidote to everything else.
100%. No matter what the answer is,
Hmm.
born evil, shaped by life, we always get to choose how we act. Right. We can make the world a little worse or a little better.
Yeah. There's so much we can't control, but we can control how we treat each other.
Exactly. And that brings us to a final thought to leave you with.
Mhm.
If we accept that evil isn't, necessarily a given, what responsibility do we all have as people, as a society, to build a world where it doesn't win?
Man, that's a question I'm going to be sitting with for a while. Well, there you have it, folks. A deep dive into, well, the deep end of human nature. Hopefully, it's given you more to think about than to be afraid of. Until next time, keep asking the tough questions and choose kindness.